maybe. Thank you. Is it okay if I open this? Oh, it is open. I'm just sweating. Welcome back. All right. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Suttar Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Suttar Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki. Shri Mayapur Dham ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Ganga Mai ki. Yamuna Mai ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Tulsi Devi ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All gloriously assembled devotees. All gloriously assembled devotees. All gloriously assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu. Just 1 second. For some reason I'm sweating. I can only hope it's transcendental ecstasy or something, but probably not. Just overheating. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayed. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayasa Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavaduttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. I just did the Om Namo kind of out of order, but anyways, today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, chapter 47, verse 40. Kachit Gadagraja Saumya Karoti Pura Yoshitam Pritimna Snigda Savrida Hasodare Shanarchita Kachit Gadagraja Saumya Karoti Pura Yoshitam Pritimna Snigda Savrida Hashodarikshanarchita Kachit Gadagraja Saumya Karoti Pura Yoshitam Pritimna Snigda Savrida Asodarikshanarchita. Parvati Pura Yoshita. Kachit Gadat Kraja Saumya. Parvati Pura Yoshita. Pratim Snas Nikta Savrita. Asodarikshan Artita. Word for word meetings. Kachit. Perhaps. Gada Agraja. Krishna, the elder brother of Gada. Saumya, O gentle Uddhava. Karoti is giving. Pura of the city. Yoshitam for the women. Pritim, loving happiness. Naha, which belongs to us. Snigdha, affectionate. Savrita, and bashful. Hasa, with smiles. Udara, generous. Ikshana, by their glances. Architaha, worshipped. Translation. Gentle Uddhava is the elder brother of Gada, now bestowing on the city women the pleasure. Let me read this different. Gentle Uddhava is the elder brother of Gada, now bestowing on the city women the pleasure that actually belongs to us. We suppose those ladies worship him with generous glances full of affectionate, shy smiles. Please repeat. Gentle Uddhava is the elder brother of Gada, now bestowing on the city women the pleasure that actually belongs to us. We suppose those ladies worship him with generous glances, full of affectionate, shy smiles. Purport by the servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The name Gadagraja indicates Krishna, the elder brother, Agraja of Gada, the first son of Devarakshita. She was a sister of Devaki's, who was also married to Vasudeva. The gopis, by addressing Krishna in this way, indicate that he now thinks of himself mostly as the son of Devaki, the implication being that his connection with Vrindavan has now slackened. Because of intense love, the gopis could not stop thinking of Krishna for a moment. A purport by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Some gopis, other than those who were prevented from going to the Rasa Leela, then spoke with bitterness. Gada was the son of Devarakshita, the daughter of Devaka, and one of the wives of Vasudeva. They address Krishna as the elder brother of Gada, indicating that Krishna thinks of himself as the son of Devaki and elder brother of Gada, and his relationship with those in Gokula has weakened. We worshipped him with our pleasing shy smiles and generous glances. Is he now stimulating the love of the women of Mathura with his bold glances? Is he worshipping them? Oh Shiva, Shiva, he's worshipable by us, but he is worshipping them. It is our great misfortune. Jiva Goswami writes, different gopis speak these verses, but there is a connection between them since they were of the same mind. They ask about his happiness out of intense prema. They display hatred for the women of Mathura, thinking of them as competitors. On remembering the Mathura women after having a spurti of his pastimes with the gopis. The possessive case, Yoshitam, is used to indicate the locative case. Gada was the first son of Devrakshita, a wife of Vasudeva. He was younger than Krishna. The gopis had heard that Krishna had great affection for him as a younger brother. This hints at a slackening of his attraction for Gokula, a slackening of affection for the gopis, and an increased affection for the women of Mathura. Udara means excellent. And Sanatana Goswami writes, in classifying the various speakers by the different statements, some connection between the statements can be made. They ask about his comfortable situation with eagerness and greed for prema. Since he associates with the city women, they describe the pleasing conduct of the city women. They have excellent udara, glances, and shy smiles. Does our master, Naha, the elder brother of Gada, please the city women? Or they ask with pain and prema, now will he be merciful to us? Though worshipped by the shy smiles and excellent glances of the city women, will he give pleasure to us? Nah. Present tense is used for the future to indicate that it will happen soon. Om Jnana Timrandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manokishtam Stapatam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapata Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragana Tam 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 Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padansha Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhampitamscha Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabando Jagapate Gopesha Gopikata Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Shri Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Druvjascha Kripa Sindhu Pyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you will, say a prayer that I can say something pleasing and enlivening and enlightening to the devotees and in glorification of the Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam. Today's verse, I'll just read it one more time. Gentle Uddhava is the elder brother of Gada now bestowing on the city women the pleasure that actually belongs to us. We suppose those ladies worship him with generous glances, full of affectionate, shy smiles. So, in this point in Bhagavatam, Uddhava has just read the message that Krishna has sent, specifically for the gopis to help relieve their sorrow and pains of separation. And he's just finished the message, and now the gopis, having heard the message, absorbed the message, are now responding to him. And that just started with the previous verse. Before that, it's that Sukadeva Goswami says that when the gopis heard the message from Uddhava, that there was some relief, some glimmer of hope, and some of them were absorbed in remembering Krishna, remembering the pastimes they had with him. Some of them were remembering him as the super soul, And all these things are happening. So I thought it'd be nice to kind of go back to Krishna book and go over the message that Krishna gave to the gopis and kind of read it all together rather than splayed out as we have been. Because there's a lot of good, juicy stuff in the Krishna book. So I thought we'd read that. Because this chapter, when I was going back and reviewing the chapter, it's a pretty long and involved chapter, and a lot of emotions are going on, a lot of spiritual emotions, existential ecstasies, anxieties, and the spotlight of this chapter is the gopis. And in the beginning of the chapter, Srimati Radharani is kind of like the spotlight as she's arguing with this bee about Krishna and is leaving Vrindavan. So I'm not going to start from there, but I'm going to start from where, after the Radharani has been arguing with the messenger bee, and maybe we can discuss some of these points along the way. Uddhava was standing near, and he heard Radharani talking in this way, as if she had become almost mad after Krishna. He was exceedingly surprised at how the gopis were accustomed to think of Krishna constantly in that topmost ecstasy of Mahabhava love. He had brought a message in writing from Krishna, and now he wanted to present it before the gopis, just to pacify them. He said, "My dear gopis, your mission of human life is now successful. You are all wonderful devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you are eligible to be worshipped by all kinds of people. You are worshipable throughout the three worlds because your minds are wonderfully absorbed in the thought of Vasudeva, Krishna. He is the goal of all kinds of pious activities and ritualistic performances, such as giving in charity, rigidly following the austerity of vows, undergoing severe penances, and igniting the fire of sacrifice. He is the purpose behind the chanting of different mantras, the reading of the Vedas, controlling the senses, and concentrating the mind in meditation. These are some of the many different processes for self-realization and attainment of perfection of life, but actually they are only meant for realizing Krishna and dovetailing oneself in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita also. Although there are descriptions of different kinds of processes of self-realization, at the end, Krishna recommended one should give up everything and simply surrender unto him. All other processes are meant for teaching one how to surrender ultimately unto the lotus feet of Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita also says that this surrendering process is completed by a sincere person executing the process of self-realization in wisdom and austerity after many births. Since the perfection of such austerity was completely manifested in the life of the gopis, Uddhava was fully satisfied upon seeing their transcendental position. He continued to say, "My dear gopis, the mentality which you have developed in relationship with Krishna is very, very difficult to attain, even for great sages and saintly persons. You have attained the highest perfectional stage of life. It is a great boon for you that you have fixed your mind upon Krishna and have decided to have Krishna only, giving up your family, home, relatives, husbands, and children for the sake of the Supreme Personality. Because your mind is now fully absorbed in Krishna, the Supreme Soul, universal love has automatically developed in you. I think myself very fortunate that I have been favored by your grace to see you in this situation." And so we can see that it's saying right here, the gopis are the perfectional stage. And it's the perfectional, why are they an example of this perfectional stage is because of completely being absorbed in Krishna, remembering Krishna, in love with Krishna, serving Krishna. And that's not such an easy thing to do, as anyone can, or I shouldn't say as anyone, but as I can attest, there's so much going on. So, all the time. But by hearing about the gopis and reading these pastimes, we can at least try and see what our goal is, and learn how the gopis are acting and loving Krishna, and just trying to understand all these pastimes will help purify us, to help progress us in our Krishna consciousness. Uddhava continues. When Uddhava said that he had a message for Krishna, the gopis were more interested in hearing the message than in hearing about their exalted position. They did not very much like being praised for their high position. They showed their anxiety to hear the message which Uddhava had brought from Krishna. Uddhava said, "My dear gopis, I am especially deputed to carry this message to you, who are such great and gentle devotees. Krishna has specifically sent me to you because I am his most confidential servitor." The written message which Uddhava brought from Krishna was not delivered to the gopis by Uddhava, but he personally read it before them. The message was very gravely written so that not only the gopis, but all empiric philosophers might understand how pure love of God is intrinsically integrated with all the different energies of the Supreme Lord. From Vedic information, it is understood that the Supreme Lord has multi-energies, parasya shaktir vividaiva shriyate. All the gopis were such intimate personal friends of Krishna that while he was writing the message for them, he was much moved and could not write distinctly. Uddhava, as the student of Brihaspati, had very sharp intelligence, so instead of handing over the written message, he thought it wise to read it personally and explain it to them. Uddhava continued, "These are the words from the personality of Godhead. My dear gopis, my dear friends, please know that separation between ourselves is impossible at any time, at any place, or under any circumstances, because I am all-pervading. This all-pervasiveness of Krishna is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, both in the 9th and 7th chapters. Krishna is all-pervasive in his impersonal feature. Everything is resting in him, but he is not personally present everywhere. In the 7th chapter also it is stated that the 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, and sky, and the 3 subtle elements, mind, intelligence, and ego, are all his inferior energies. But there is another superior energy which is called the living entity. The living entities are also directly part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the source of both the material and spiritual energies. He is always intermingled with everything as cause and effect. Not only the gopis, but all living entities are always inseparably connected with Krishna in all circumstances. The gopis, however, are perfectly and thoroughly in cooperation in their relationship with Krishna, whereas the living entities under the spell of Maya are forgetful of Krishna. They think themselves as separate entities having no connection with Krishna. And those few sentences right there basically sums up why we are in this material world, because somewhere, somehow, we're not desiring to work with Krishna and the devotees for Krishna's pleasure, and somehow we become self-centered and selfish, and we end up in this material world to fulfill those desires, which can never be fulfilled. Prabhupada continues, love of Krishna, or Krishna consciousness, is therefore the perfectional stage of real knowledge in understanding things as they are. Our minds can never be vacant. The mind is constantly occupied with some kind of thought, and the subject matter of such thought cannot be outside the 8 elements of Krishna's energy. One who knows this philosophical aspect of all thoughts is actually a wise man, and he surrenders unto Krishna. The gopis are the typical example of this perfectional stage of knowledge. They are not simple mental speculators. Their minds are always in Krishna. The mind is nothing but the energy of Krishna. Actually, any person who can think, feel, act, and will cannot be separated from Krishna. but the stage in which he can understand his eternal relationship is called Krishna consciousness. The diseased condition in which he cannot understand his eternal relationship with Krishna is the contaminated stage, or Maya. Since the gopis are on the platform of pure transcendental knowledge, their minds are always filled with Krishna consciousness. For example, as there is no separation between fire and air, so there is no separation between Krishna and the living entities. When the living entities forget Krishna, they are not in their normal condition. As for the gopis, because they are always thinking of Krishna, they are on the absolute stage of perfection and knowledge. The so-called empiric philosophers sometimes think that the path of bhakti is meant for the less intelligent, but unless the so-called man of knowledge comes to the platform of bhakti, his knowledge is certainly impure and imperfect. Actually, the stage of perfecting one's eternal relationship with Krishna is love and separation, but that is also illusory because there is no separation. The gopis were never separated from Krishna, even from the philosophical point of view. There was no separation. The cosmic manifestation is also not separate from Krishna. Nothing is separate from me. Krishna, this is Krishna speaking now. Nothing is separate from me. The whole cosmic manifestation is resting on me and is not separate from me. Before the creation, I was existing. This is confirmed in Vedic literature. Before creation, there was only Narayan. There were no Brahma and no Shiva as assistants. The whole cosmic manifestation is manipulated by the three modes of material nature. Brahma is the incarnation of the quality of passion. It is said that Brahma created this universe, but Brahma is the secondary creator. The original creator is Narayan. This is also confirmed by Shankaracharya. Narayana Paravyakta. Narayan is transcendental beyond this cosmic creation. So Krishna is trying to relieve the gopis' anxiety by, I don't know if ontological is the right word, but presenting these spiritual concepts to help relieve the suffering and just like the path of bhakti is almost kind of summarized in these descriptions. Like Prabhupada, when he writes something, he like infuses it with everything. Like, anyways, I'll just continue. I'm going to skip forward ahead. Krishna continued, "Transcendental knowledge of the Absolute is no longer necessary for you. You are accustomed to love me from the very beginning of your lives. Knowledge of the Absolute is specifically required for persons who want liberation from material existence, but one who has attained love for Krishna is already on the platform of liberation. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone engaged in unalloyed devotional service is to be considered situated on the transcendental platform of liberation. The gopis were not actually feeling any pangs of material existence, but they were feeling the separation of Krishna. Krishna therefore said, 'My dear gopis, in order to increase your super excellent love for me, I have purposely separated myself from you. I have done this so that you may be in constant meditation on me.' The gopis are in the perfectional stage of meditation. The yogis are generally more fond of meditation than the execution of devotional service to the Lord, but they do not know that the perfectional stage of devotion is the attainment of the perfection of the yoga system. This constant meditation on Krishna by the gopis is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita to be the topmost yoga. Krishna knew very well the psychology of women. When a woman's beloved is away, she thinks of him meditatively, and he is present before her. Krishna wanted to teach through the behavior of the gopis. One who is constantly in trance like the gopis surely attains the lotus feet of Krishna. And I feel like this is one of the main points of this chapter, is showing that constant absorption in Krishna, that we will eventually attain the lotus feet of Krishna. And even after Uddhava reads the message and the gopis kind of have a rebuttal, and then maybe Uddhava says something again, but Uddhava ends up staying and just spending the time with the gopis, just talking about the pastimes of Krishna, just for months to help relieve this separation. And the only way they can do that is through constant remembrance. And the only way to get Krishna conscious, the only way to be Krishna conscious is through constant remembrance of Krishna. And it's a beautiful thing. We can do that by studying the Srimad Bhagavatam and just absorbing in these pastimes. And Prabhupada just explains everything much more wonderfully than I can. But also we can constantly meditate on Krishna, Radha and Krishna, right here in the temple with the deities, Radha Golokananda, but most importantly, as Lord Chaitanya has said, we should chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because the holy name of Krishna is non-different than Krishna himself. And then we can constantly be in communication, in connection with Krishna while we're in this so-called situation of Maya. Then we can never be lost. There'll be so many ups and downs, so many things pulling us this way and that way, our mind pulling us this way, going through all these catastrophes and emotions. But if we can always just come back to the central point of Krishna, the holy name, the Maha Mantra, Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll be all set. Thank you for your attention. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham. Namaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham. Namaham bhajami Menam Kanvandam Aravindanalayataksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Namaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Namaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Namaham bhajami Angani yasa sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Namaham bhajami
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesha Sanyavadi Ashtacha Disata Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Nitagor Haribo, 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 Nitagor Haribo, Haribo, Nitagor, Nitagor Haribo, 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 Nitagor Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Namacharya ISKCON founder Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Radha Krishna, Goloka, Shyamakund Radha Kirtan ki, Vrindavan ki, Mayapurdam ki, Navvitam ki, Yamunamai ki, Gangamai ki, Tulsi ki, Shri Radha Golokananda ki, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki, Gaura
Hari Hari Bo. Varpanam Sriyakaraiva Chandrika
Karanam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pradipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatmasnanam Paramvijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bauda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishi Dabakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinada Pisu Nichena Tarora Pisu Hishuna Amani Namana Dena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripayata Vapata Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrushim Vachintaya Nayanam Galashudaraya Anam Gadvada Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahaneva Vishyati Yugayatam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahame Ashlisha Vapadam Pranastumam Adarshanam Marma Hatakarotuva Yatatatava Vidadatu Lampato Matpranatastu Sevanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death.
This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for all humanity at large, because it is where the ray of the benediction movement. It is the life of all
Transcendental knowledge. It is the enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you've invested all your transcendental names. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names.
Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Oh, Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as my Lord. Be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name. When will my eye